Hello folks, welcome to the Mentality of UX. My name is Frank Variale and we're just going to continue and finish the series on Zero to Hero, that is making my applications better, which I have done over a year ago, and just updating them, their user interface specifically. So the background story is that I started design doctrines of UX about a year ago. I've been into my research doctrines, so that is doing research analysis of well, not necessarily UX, but because I have a psychological background, I was mainly doing research, and the research part is the research doctrines of psychology or sociology are very similar to that of what people might use in UX. So I done that, then I got into the actual design element of UX, so started to do like mock-ups, draw-ups, and such things like that. And then now I am been using Figma for the last year, or more, a little over a year now. And my initial projects weren't the best, really. So this was a project which I have done for a client of mine. Basically, he had a startup company where he just wanted to sell watches or recreate watches, redo the watches, old watches, like 70-year-old watches, and just put like a new life into them, new battery, a new band, just redo the watches or just sell watches, vintage watches. So I done this project for him with one of my friends called Danny, who's a front-end developer, and then we just done this. So this was the very first for the phone. As you can see here, very basic UI design, not well laid out. But to be fair, he didn't give us too much time to finish the project because he wanted to launch his website as quick as possible. But believe it or not, his website, in my opinion, was actually worse than this, especially because the sitemap, so the navigation through the website was very complicated. It wasn't quick enough, wasn't efficient, and my aim was to make his website with as little as steps as possible between logging on and buying the product. But I didn't really concentrate on the UI element, the aesthetics. So now I'm just on the aesthetics. So in my last video I showed you, so this was originally the phone, the steps. So this was the front page, the scroll down to the map, to basically choosing the brand of watch between Omega, Daniel Wellington, Police, Rolex, and then choosing a specific collection in those watches, or going by the type of watch, so a sporty watch, a classical watch, a diver's watch, and then on to the page where you actually physically put in your payment information. And this was the updated version. There's a link. So there's a link to this video at the bottom. This was the phone aspect of it, or doing it on an iPhone or a smartphone. I haven't specified that, but so I'm basically doing like obviously an application version of this, so a reactive application. There you go. So this was it, and this is how I changed that. So this would have been the front page for that. This would be choosing categories or choosing by brand. So you can obviously put in your categories here, or I put in well, see, his aim was to create a website where you can basically also send in your watch and modify your watch. But the thing is, during my research, I discovered that this wasn't the main selling factor in his website. So people, regardless, knowing that he can restore a watch, create a new strap, create a new face for his watches that people send in, people still wanted to just generally just buy a watch without restoring an old watch. So I put that at the bottom, and I put the brand or the type of watch they want. So sport, but then all of this would be like Omega Sport or a Rolex Sport watch. So, and then to the checkout section, you can see the massive difference and basically how this looks. So this was the checkout section, divided into two pages. So click, interested, or I believe this, it was a scroll down as well. Here you scroll down and you get this. Here you scroll down, and at the checkout page you get this. So much more modern, much more aesthetically pleasing web page. Now we move on to the PC version. So first I've done the mobile version, now the PC version. Again, I concentrated on the sitemap, making the jump between front page to the selling that was my main aim, which I have done. I have reduced that before. It was too complicated. The sections weren't good. You didn't know what category you're in. Categories came up many times. And I think if you're a startup and your main position is to sell, I wanted to make it as less frustrating as possible. But then again, that was at detriment of the UI. So you can see here that YouTube again, YouTube video comes up, telling people what to expect from the website. But I'm like, okay, you don't really need the YouTube video. I mean, if you're on his page, you probably know a bit about him already because it's a niche market. So I thought my original thought was, why not make a YouTube video the main thing on his application so people can see what he's doing. I don't want to go with that. I don't want people to get bogged down on a YouTube video when they're there for a specific reason. So anyway, so in the old PC version, you could go by brands, so Omega, Rolex, or Police, or whatever your brand of watch that you like, or by the category. So again, sporty, divers, or a classical watch. But again, why put that like that when you can just put the pictures up there instantly? So why not make the picture as navigation, the content as navigation, instead of putting a YouTube video up with nothing to show for it? Again, so again, you would have had to click, okay, I want Omega, blah blah blah, click, and then go into that. And I guess, yes, that was my principle. So you can see here, these were the steps. Or if you wanted to go by type of watch, you could go by the Omega collection. So I want an Omega watch, but I want which one I want: divers watch, a feminine watch, a classical watch, a specific looking watch. I didn't like this. I don't like this, and also the colors are off. What's with the borders? I didn't like my look whatsoever. Again, he didn't give us enough time to do it. He was actually happy with it, you know. He was a startup, so he was happy that someone done his application for him at a cheap rate. But now we go into how I picture the new design to be. So yes, the YouTube video is still there because I still want people to understand that he can also create watches for you, introduce himself on this YouTube video. They can tell you about himself. But you see, I'm already here. I made content as navigation. So right off the bat, first thing you go in, you look at, okay, far nicer aesthetics, colors that blend, the brand in the middle. You can click on that, or you can go by brand. So when I'm a shopper and I go on, I'm like, okay, what brand do I like? And I show different varieties of the brands. I'm not gonna put a brand like Omega, Rolex, and Tissot, for example, all looking the same watches. I want to see variety. I want to see what this guy has to sell. And boom, you got the watches there. Or click on this. Okay, what can this show us? Click bang. And okay, comes up the style of watch I like. Again, I like maybe a sporty watch, a luxury watch. I want to filter down. Oh, bang. Okay. What do I want? Oh, I can click what I want. I love it because you can click. I'm in all categories of watch. I'm looking for just any watch. I'm buying for someone, for me, or whatever. But maybe I want a Tissot watch. Maybe I want do I want a leather strap or do I not want a leather strap? Okay, I want a Tissot Omega watch. Let's go with that. Oh no, I want a sporty watch. Let's go with by style. Okay, I went with sports over luxury. Let's go. So it shows up all the sport. So it shows me the sports. No, sorry. Some slides are a bit off. So I click on this, then go on this, then all the styles come up by style: sport, luxury, chrono, or diver. Sorry. And then in that category, sport, it comes up with do I want what is the brand of watch that I want? And yeah, then you get to here. So I clicked sport, I clicked all categories, and then this is what. Okay, in real life, it would be up to him what he wants to load up to the back end of his application, to his servers, what pictures he must use. I'm not a chrono expert, so it's not for me. This is just an illustration. So for example, I would press sport all, and the sporty versions of all the watch brands would come up. Then you get here, and then you go to you see the difference between the old. So again, the old page. Okay, this is the old pay page. Again, you can see the difference between the aesthetics here. Brand on this side, arrows are amateur at best again. So this was definitely due an upgrade. And then you get to here, boom, already modern design, a modern paying page, instills you with confidence instantly. You got the little cards here, the options to pay, you can contact them. But because I'm a vendor, I don't necessarily want them to contact me. I want them to buy the watch. I emphasize this, the option to do it, but not the CTA here is not as prevalent, obviously. But I want them to pay and buy the watch. And again, I put that in red, sticks out, boom. And again, the categories are basically, the categories still remain. The categories still where you wanna go by brand, you wanna go by style, or you wanna create your watch. So I went down here, okay. You can still click. So for example, you click on the hamburger icon up here, and this comes up. So on the PC version, you go instantly to the brand of watch that you want, or you can scroll down to the YouTube video, or you can click the hamburger option and you can go by style. Again, style, what kind of watch do you want? You don't care about the brand, maybe you want the sport, luxury, chrono, or diver, or you can create a watch. I made a little indent in there to show that people in this website create a watch. Click, you hover, red, comes up red, you're on it, boom. It leads you to the main page to show what do you want to exactly create about your watch. You want to create a new face, you create a new strap, or restore maybe your granddad's old pocket watch into a nice wristwatch. And then the process, again, I find that important to show what these guys do, because obviously it's a niche market. This is not just an Omega or an Rolex website where you sell a watch. These guys restore old watches. And I understand why people would say, well, why would you not emphasize the fact that it restores watches like in your first version where you put the video of him doing this at the front? Is because according to my research, people still looked to buy a new watch by a brand or by a style. They don't, people don't always go. They want to maybe go to your website to support your website, and it's still his website is still spread by friends. It's a startup, so maybe they want to buy a watch on his website, but they don't have to restore it. But that is what they do. So when I click on the hamburger icon and say, okay, this guy restores watches, it's a niche market. But look, main page, boom, it's on the front. Okay. But anyway, it's just a comparison. Let's just look at quickly the comparison. So these are the PC versions. You can tell it's night and day. The aesthetics, the layout, the way you can navigate, the choosing options, the content as navigation is far better. I mean, it really shows that I was just getting into the design aspect of UX. But we all live and learn, Anyway, so this was my final project, which I updated on my portfolio. So the last one was about my booking application. This was my very first paid project for a startup. And from now on, I'll be just creating new ones using the new techniques that I learned. This is the mentality of UX. Thank you for being with me. I urge you to check out my other videos too, especially one with Rashmi Ketke in regards to what's happening in the UX world and IT in general. Yes, please subscribe and have a good day.